Okay. Hi, this is Ice Blue 33. Currently, it is January 1st, 2026, or New Year's Day. Okay, well, it's been an interesting week. I mean, I think Candace Owens and Alex Jones and Tim Pool and the rest of these Trump supporters or whatever, they're going back and forth like cats and dogs. And I'm like, I don't even really care about it. I'm at the point where I'm like, go ahead and bring the AI apocalypse here because I'm like, th- I don't care about the drama. So and then also I do want to tell so far what's happening in regards to my little situation when I ordered those adult toys or whatever, because apparently I got this email from an Indian man who sounded like he was from the FBI. And let's see here what else. It just threw me for a whole loop. So let's see here, but I need to get to the astrology first. So I think I said on December the 17th. Well, I said that for the date of December 17th for Bill Clinton, that his progress mode will make an aspect to, I think, his progress Pluto. And what happened was, I think that the um the Epstein Transparency Act, the deadline for the DOJ to submit um the the files was, I believe, was set to be on December the 19th, 2025. And so on December the 17th, 2025, for Bill Clinton, his progress moon made a trine to his natal Pluto. And it could have been like some kind of Lewinsky impeachment, like sex scandal or whatever. But the next date for Bill Clinton is going to be on January January 17th, 2026. And that's when, for Bill Clinton, his progressed moon will make a sextile to his progressed nodes. And this same progression right here was in line with the date that the Star Report was submitted in regards to Bill Clinton being impeached on in 1998. So, but what I noticed, well, let me also say this. Pretty much, also around the same time, I said that Bill Clinton's his progressed moon was sextile progressed nodes on January 17, 2026. Around the same time, on January 18, 2026, for in regards to the transits. Transiting Mercury will conjoin transiting Mars in the sky. And the last time this happened was there was explosive information that came out in regards to Prince Andrew and him dropping his Duke of York title and his other titles, his Prince titles or whatever. Virginia Frey, she released a book. And then also there was an internet outage. So around January 17th or 18th, that could be a major event. However, for Donald Trump, his progressive move will make an aspect to a Saturn on January 14th, and this is before the Bill Clinton situation that should happen around January 17th or 18th or whatever. It's a bad event. It's like an emotional block or loss. I'm wondering if there's like some kind of some kind of bad event that forces Donald Trump to say, hey, release these files now. But then again, that's not guaranteed. It's just that this progression for Donald Trump that happens on January 14th, 2026, it means that there's a bad emotional event that will happen, like a block. Something doesn't go his way, and so it's like maybe he might say that release the files, and then days later, that's when the files might be released. Also, in regards to Bill Clinton, I did say that on December 17th. Okay, December 17th, his progress moon made a trine to his natal Pluto. Well, on January 24th, 2026, his progress moon is going to make a trine to his progress Pluto, and that's on January 24th, 2026 for Bill Clinton. And pretty much it's like a something that was a foundation that was set around December 17th, 2025. That what something else can come up in regards to that, because it's the same planet. It's like gonna be like an echo event. And what happened around that date on December 17th, 2025 was that pretty much the DOJ, they released a lot of the Epstein files. So yeah, let's see here. Trying to see. Let me pause for a second. Okay, I think I stopped for Bill Clinton for January 24th, 2006, where his progress moon trying to progress Pluto. And like I said, it could be an echo of the event that happened on December 17th, 2025, where the DOJ, they released a lot of files. Let's see here on, I don't care about transits, but I'll just say them anyway. On January 26th, 2026, transiting Neptune will enter the sign Aries. And let's see here, on February 3rd, 2026, transiting retrograde Uranus was stationed and go direct. Let's see here, on February 12th, 2026, for Bill Clinton, his progressed moon will quincunx his progressed sun. And it's probably like an ego boost for him. But see, the last time I saw that somebody having a progressed aspect to their son was Donald Trump, and around that time there was a lot of mass shootings that happened. So it may not be an ego boost. It just might lead to an event. Anyway, let's see. So that's February 12th. On February 13th, transiting Saturn will enter the sign Aries. February 13th, 2026. So that's interesting that Bill Clinton, he has progressed aspect to his son on February 12th, 2026, and transiting Sun will change signs the next day. On February 17th, 2026, at 6:01 a.m., there'll be a new moon eclipse. And it's exactly opposite Donald Trump's ascendant. And I said a prominent Democrat could be assassinated like Charlie Kirk, but anything is possible. Or it could be the arrest of Bill Clinton. So I'm saying this now today is January 1st, 2026. On February 20th, 2026, transiting Saturn will make a conjunction to transiting Neptune. And that's right after this new moon eclipse. And weirdly enough, for Hillary Clinton, she had the same astrology that she did during the impeachment of Bill Clinton. And that's where her progressed moon will oppose her natal Mars. And that happens on February 23rd, 2026. It could be, this is Hillary Clinton now, but it could be Bill Clinton having some kind of impeachment or situation where it's transformative explosive anger. Also the next day or on the same day, Hillary Clinton, her progressed moon will also oppose her progressed Pluto. And that's on February 24th, 2026. Explosive transformative anger. That's February. Okay, so let's see. On February 26th, 2026, transit Mercury will station, I believe, go direct. And also on March the 10th, 2026, transiting retrograde Jupiter will station and go direct. Let's see here. For Hillary Clinton, on March the 14th, 2026, her progressed moon will oppose her natal Pluto. And this is an echo from the event that happens on February 24th, 2026. This is an echo of the event that happens on February 24th, 2026, where Hillary Clinton, her progressed moon, opposes her progressed Pluto. So on March 14th, 2026, something similar could come up, where her progressed moon will oppose her natal Pluto. On March the 15th, 2026, transit retrograde Mercury will conjoin transiting Mars. Something big could go on this date as well. This is around the same time that Hillary Clinton's having this other astrology, the same astrology. Let's see here. On March 20th, 2026, transiting Mercury stations and goes direct. And on April 20th, 2026, transiting Mercury will conjoin transiting Mars again, I believe for the final time. And that's explosive information. Like I said, the last time this happened, in regards to transiting retrograde Mercury conjoining Mars, Virginia Frazier released a book. Prince Andrew, he dropped his Duke of York title. The internet went out. There was explosive information that was released. So I told you this was going to be the Mercury retrograde from hell, and here we are. It seems, like I said, I've been saying for the past year, I think since July the 3rd, that it was Bill Clinton that was going to be going down. Let's see here. So that's that. So on April 26th, my birthday apparently, 2026, transit Uranus will enter the sign Gemini. And that just means that almost like a civil war situation. Because every time Uranus has entered Gemini, it's been like some kind of civil war situation. Now, on May 4th, 2026, for Bill Clinton, his progressed moon will sextile his natal nodes. This is an echo of the event that happens on, I think, January 24th, right? No. This is an echo of the event that will happen on January 17th, 2026, where Bill Clinton, his progressed moon, is sextiles his progressed nodes. And the last time this happened was the submission of the Star Report that happened on September 9th, 1998. So some stuff could go down on January 17th, 2026, and it could lead through this entire year. And possibly even longer. Let's see here. So that's May 4th, 2026, which will be an echo of January 17th and 18th, 2026. For Bill Clinton, whatever events that happen or unfold on those days. let's see here. For Bill Clinton on May 16th, 2026, his progressed moon will conjoin his progressed Mars. That means angering events in regards to his partners and circles or whatever. Okay, so on May 27th, 2026, for Bill Clinton, his progressed Mercury was sextile natal Mars. Angering information comes out. Okay, so on July 4th, 2026 is like a huge day. Transiting Mars will conjoin transiting Uranus in the sky. And that could be a terror event that happens. Now, another huge date to look out for Bill Clinton is going to be on August the 8th, 2026. And that's when his progressed moon will sextile both his natal Uranus and his progressed Uranus at the same time. And something shocking in regards to his relationships and his beliefs or whatever. Just shock. Maybe a double life, I don't know. Let's see here on. I think I want to stop there. Because I can add more lore later on. Because that's the big thing right there. When on August 8th, 2026, where Bill Clinton, his progressed moon, was sextile both his natal Uranus and his progressed Uranus. Because, like I said, all the way back on, well, no, for the date of, I think, October 11th, 2025, for Bill Clinton, his progressed Uranus conjoined his natal Uranus through his retrograde motion, and that is a very, very, very rare and shocking event. But I also said that earlier inside the year of 2025, for Hillary Clinton, her progressed Saturn retrograded back and conjoined her, I think, her natal Saturn. Let me pause a second to make sure this is correct. Okay, so yeah, it was on March the 10th where Hillary Clinton, her progressed Saturn, it retrograded back and conjoined her natal Saturn. These are very, very, very rare progressions that will happen inside of somebody's chart, and it's typically bad. So it's a blocking event for Hillary Clinton and an extremely shocking event for Bill Clinton. And so on, I think around March the 10th, 2025, that's when Donald Trump he put his people inside of the DOJ. Pam Bondi, Cash Patel, and Dan Bongino and all them, Tulsi Gabbard and all them. That's when it started. And so since then, I think they've been digging, and they got something, because I see inside of so it's a depressing event for Hillary Clinton and a blocking event for Hillary Clinton, and it's a shocking event for Bill Clinton, and that happened on for Bill Clinton. I think his progressed Uranus conjoined his natal Uranus on October the 11th, 2025, and that's when Donald Trump, he was snubbed at the in regards to getting the Nobel Peace Prize, and so I'm just like. Anyway, well, maybe it was. Well, let me double check real quick. Let me pause. Okay, so yeah, the Nobel Peace Prize was given to, I believe, Maria Corina Machado. I think they said that she's from Venezuela. They recognized it was for recognizing her work for democracy in Venezuela, and that happened on October 10th, 2025. And on the same day, Bill Clinton, he had this progression where his progressed Uranus, it conjoined his natal Uranus. His life changed that day, just like Hillary Clinton's life changed on March the 10th, 2025. Anyway, let's see here. There's another date that I missed in regards to the future, and that's going to be on. Well, there's a couple. So I did say that on December 26th or 27th for Hillary Clinton, her progressed moon made an aspect to her Chiron, and so I think it was her natal Chiron. So on October 26th, 2026, which is actually also her birthday for Hillary Clinton, her progressed moon will make another aspect to her Chiron. So whatever happened on December 26th, 2025, and it was like the DOJ coming. They said that they missed 1 million files from the New York office or whatever. Maybe something else will come out in regards to like even more some more stuff that comes out. I don't know, but it's shown on October 26, 2026 that Hillary Clinton, she will have something else will echo whatever happened on December 26th, 2025. And did I write that down? Okay, I already talked about Bill Clinton and that huge progression in regards to Uranus conjoining Uranus. Let's see here. Let me pause another second. Okay, I did forget to mention a couple more transits and progressions. So on August 12th, 2026, there'll be a Leo solar eclipse at 11:38 a.m. and this affects Bill Clinton's sun and Donald Trump's ascendant. And there were some astrologers that were saying that, oh, this could probably do something to Donald Trump, but it could be a situation between Donald Trump and Bill Clinton. On August 22nd, 2026, the transiting sun plus transiting K2 will conjoin Donald Trump's natal ascendant exactly, and this could cause a loss for Donald Trump. However, uh, Bill Clinton, his natal sun, is sitting there as well, so it could cause a lot. It could probably cause a loss for both of them. Let's see here. On August 23rd, 2026, for Hillary Clinton, her progressed moon will square her progressed nodes. It's a fated event that happens for Hillary Clinton around this time. And I've already said that on October 2026, for Hillary Clinton, her progressed moon will square her progressed Chiron. I need to go back and find the last time for Hillary Clinton, her progressed moon made a square to her natal node. So this happens on August 23rd, 2026. But let me pause a second. Okay, so for Hillary Clinton, on December 30th, 2026, her progressed moon will make an aspect to her, it'll make a square to her natal nodes on December 30th, 2026. And whatever happens on, what day did I say that happened on again? Whatever happens on August 23rd, 2026, there'll be an echo of that event on December 30th, 2026. But I also said for Donald Trump's not going to be too happy about the results of the midterm elections, or something crazy happens that causes him depression. Like I said on January 14th, there could be some sense of depression or loss that happens in regards to Donald Trump, and an echo of that could happen on November 19th, 2026. I'm sorry, on January 2026. For Donald Trump, he has a progression of Saturn. That means it's a depressing emotional block or loss. And so that's on January 2026. And days later, Bill Clinton has these crazy astrological aspects that point to him in some form, fashion, or regard in relation to this Epstein situation. Especially with transiting Mercury, it can join the Mars inside of the sky around the same time. So let's see here. And so the echo happens on on November 19th, 2026 for Donald Trump. It's on, I guess I'm going to flash these cards again, because I think I spent like 18 minutes. Some people probably bored out of their minds. But anyway, I've had this card called a Tower in regards to the Clintons. And it's, what I found out also is that this card, Judgment, is Judgment for the United States of America. And what I recently just found out was that Bill Clinton, while he was president, he signed this trade deal with China. And I'm like, how do I say this? I said previously that the song "The Boy's Mine" by with Brandy and Monica, they had their Saturn return, and it came out that they just went back on tour together for the first time in, I think, 27 years, and so that came back up. The Diddy situation, there are rumors that Diddy orchestrated the hit and kill and assassination of Biggie, Smalls, and Tupac, and you saw that it's been 27 years since those dates, and Diddy, something else came back up with Diddy. I'm talking about a Saturn return. Let's see what else. The video game Resident Evil 2, it was released on the same day that the Bill Clinton scandal happened, which was January 26th, 1998. And so Resident Evil, they're now releasing a new game called Resident Evil 9. And it's been 27 years since since the release that's kicked things off for Resident Evil. I think the most popular Resident Evil is Resident Evil 2. Anyway, what else? So whatever happens in regards to Resident Evil 9, it might be a huge game when it comes out on February 27, 2026. And so, my point. I'm looking at that trade deal that Bill Clinton signed in regards to China. And see, right now the United States is going through its Pluto return, its Uranus return, and that coincides with civil wars. And Pluto destroys everything. And so, being that China trade deal was signed roughly almost 27 years ago. It was signed on October 10th, year 2000. In 2027 or 2028, it will be a Saturn return cycle in regards to that signing of that trade deal. So the United States needs to be very, very careful in regards to China. So I said judgment. And being that transiting Pluto is transiting Aquarius right now, it means a humanitarian crisis. And I think there's been a lot of people that have said that China they have a major humanitarian crisis going on there. I think they even have some called modern slavery, in so many words. Reportedly, in my opinion, let me say it like that. Let me pause a second. It's cold in here. It's freezing in here. All right, they're throwing a jacket real quick. So let me pause for a second. Okay, so I threw on a jacket. It's freezing inside here. My point, but I think that China, it's been said that they had human rights violations, and it's so weird that Bill Clinton, who's from Arkansas, the state of Arkansas that seceded from the Union, in regards to the Civil War, it's like, in my opinion, and allegedly, it seems like they couldn't have slavery here in the United States, so they found a way to export slavery, and so. Yeah. Anyway, all I know is that we're having the same astrology as the Civil War, and we're also having transiting Pluto, transit through Aquarius, which means a humanitarian crisis. So, if anything, the United States needs to be very, very careful in regards to China. And another thing is that we instead of focusing on AI, we need to be focusing on building robots. Lots and lots of robots, because these jobs, they're going to get replaced regardless, and technology are going to advance to a point that, like, I have relatives that they're looking at their phones and they're just talking to it, like they think that it's like so cool to be able to talk to your phone, and like it could tell you something or give a GPS or whatever. That was unfathomable for their generation. So now it's my generation. Imagine what can be created, and what we'll be looking at in the future, and looking at our little spawns, and they're up here. I don't know. Probably there's no telling. Telekinesis. I don't know. Because, like I said, this was unfathomable years ago. To be able to have cordless phones. Anyway. So let's hear my point. Let me pause a second. Okay, so I was looking at this article in regards to global slavery index or whatever, walk free, and it's talking about modern slavery in China, and it says estimated number living in modern slavery, 5,771,000, and who's vulnerable? 46 out of 100, I believe, percentage. The government response ratings, 40 out of 100%. And their population is what? 1,439,324,000. So it's like, I think that's like what, one third of the population is like slavery, based on just this article right here, or these stats right here. You can look it up for yourself. Maybe I'm wrong, but like I keep saying that being that transiting Pluto has entered Aquarius, there's going to be some kind of humanitarian crisis situation that goes down, and it's going on all the while the United States is going through the same astrology as the Civil War. I think also the same charge as World War II and World War One. So let's see here. Mm-mm-mm. Let me pause for a second. Okay, weirdly enough, the astrology that's shown inside of Bill Clinton's chart, or that was shown inside of Bill Clinton's chart when he signed this World Trade Organization deal in regards to with China, is shown to have happened. Well, the event happened on October 10th, 2000. But the astrology is shown to have happened inside of his chart on October 5th, 2000, regarding his progressions, and it's where his progressed moon made a 1/12 aspect to his progressed Rahu or progressed nodes. And let's see here, it's gonna happen again in regards to this same progression hitting. It's gonna happen on, I believe, February 1st, 2028, I believe. Yeah, February 1st, 2028. Where his progressed moon will make another 1/12 aspect to his nodes. And this is the year of the election. But weirdly enough, also, this Epstein situation that's going on now in 2026, for Bill Clinton, I believe his nodes are being aspected by the moon right now as well. But they're just inside of a different house than what it was in during year 2000. And so Bill Clinton, his progressed node, his progressed node is going to be aspected in a via a sextile, I believe, and that happens on January 16th, 2026. And like I said, this is the same day that transiting Mercury, or retrograde Mercury, I believe, will conjoin transiting Mars in the sky, and that coincides with um the Virginia Frey book release, the Duke of Prince Andrew dropping his Duke of York title, and dropping his Prince title as well, and also there's an internet outage, and etc. It was like a lot of crazy stuff went down when transiting retrograde Mercury conjoined transiting Mars in the sky. And so again, I will say this again, for Bill Clinton, his nodes will be aspected via a sextile on January 16th, 2026, and they're going to be aspected again on Well, I'm looking at his progressed aspects. But the last time his Bill Clinton's progressed nodes were aspected in regards to this fashion was in 1998 on September 15th. This is around the time that the Star Report submitted. So it's like every time Bill Clinton's notes are aspected, it's some crazy stuff that could happen, like a scandal. And I'm just like, is this man some kind of KKK supreme boss like that? Because I'm like, that's just crazy that China. I think I was watching a video, and this man. Let me get his name real quick. Okay, hopefully I say his name right because I'm not very good with foreign names. So I believe his name is Wei Jingxing, and I'll spell it out for you: WEIJINGSHENG. Basically, he rebelled against the Chinese government, I believe, and they imprisoned him for like 15 years. And so he rebelled because basically he was saying that China, they were violating people's human rights. And for some reason, somehow, Bill Clinton was he asked for the release of this man. Of his name is Wei Jingxing. And so I guess Wei Jingxing thought that Bill Clinton was a good guy, but I think via a video and a news article, they say that Bill Clinton went behind Wei Jingxing's back and basically signed this deal with China, even though it was, he knew that Wei Jingxing, Jesus Christ, Wei Jingxing said it was bad for just the people overall inside of China and just human rights in general. And it's like I'm still thinking about Arkansas as being a slave state, and yeah. Anyway, so in 2028, something could come up with in regards to that. And I think also by 2033, like a lot of stuff can go down. Because I'm also thinking about Donald Trump and him getting these countries to invest inside the United States. And like I said in my last video, that Donald Trump, he has a track record. And so something could go down. Maybe he might not be too happy about the results of the 2026 election or the 2028 elections, and like things just go to shit. And like China could probably get a leg up. However, being that they say that China is authoritarian, it may not work out too well inside of its favor, but who knows? Just what you need to be on the lookout for that. So let's see here. How long has this? It's been 30 minutes. Jesus Christ. So yeah, look into Wei Jinping. Jesus Christ. Wei Jinping. Let me pause for a second. Okay. So I think I'm just going to end this video here. This video is kind of boring, I know, but I had to put out as much information as I could in regards to just the upcoming astrology for basically January and February 2026, because these are going to be some huge months. I said December was going to be kind of big, but I was like, it's going to be basically starting December. And January is going to be, looks like it's going to be a huge month as well too, and February. But in the future, in regards to Pluto transiting Aquarius, the best thing Donald Trump or any leader can do is invest inside of robots, not AI. AI is one part of a system, but the thing about it is that anybody can copy software. Like what got me, I was going to college in 2012, and so I wanted to learn both how to fix hardware and also how to code. And so for some reason, this college would not pay for me to learn how to do hardware. And so I was like, I want to learn how to do hardware because I'm like, anyway. And they try to force me to learn software, how to create and build software. And come to find out is that the software gets outdated within like what years? You don't use the same software. Back in 2012, software has changed. I mean, hardware has changed too, but when you have the physical components of hardware, you can actually break it down and build something else with those parts. Software, it's just code, and it can easily be copied. So right now, if Donald Trump or somebody's watching, whatever, we need to be investing. The United States in general needs to be investing inside of what do you call those 3D printers that can take a broken phone, like this phone is broken. If you see the front of the screen, you'll be like, oh my God. But a broken phone, and pretty much be able to deconstruct it and pretty much build it into a better version. Like, let's see here. Like, because they say that those phones have copper and gold and this and that. Okay, well, the newer phones have used the same materials. So creating a 3D printer that can break down a piece of a product like this, and being able to build a newer model of it, that is very, very useful in regards to innovation. Let's see here, what else? Flying cars. Who knows? Like there's so much stuff, but I think 3D printing is one major way to go. Robots, sex robots too. Talking about the little what I say, those adult toys I bought. I was going to talk about that inside this video, but this video is very, very long and it's very, very more so full of astrology. So it's like I'm not gonna. I could have threw a few jokes here and there, but anyway, the point. So robots, sex robots, any kind of robots. I mean, these jobs are going to get replaced by something regardless. So you might as well go ahead and just do it now. I'm looking at Candace Owens and Nick Fuentes and Tim Pool and Alex Jones. They're all fighting. Coming some, we're not getting paid now. I'm like, you have no idea what's coming. Anyway, what else? A long time ago, I I saw this because I know that Donald Trump, he says that they're going to invest inside nuclear power plants or whatever to fuel this AI system or situation or whatever. But a while ago, they had this computer that could read a crystalline structure, and they said that this crystalline structure is far more advanced than just a regular memory card that we use today, because they said it's far more advanced. And so I'm thinking that instead of having this huge um, nuclear power plant, you can have you can find a way to store all this AI information inside of one little memory card or this crystalline structure, and have a computer that's small enough that's what's the word that's able to be that's able to read it and also be manageable in regards to just uh just being able to go out in the world or whatever and just do what it needs to do in regards to its function. Um, because I'm looking at that. I was looking at that crystalline structure memory card or whatever, and I'm like, the memory cards we have now. I think they were built off of somebody just seeing what the Terminator. I think Terminator 2 or something like that. Because I mean, if you look at the I think the movie The Terminator 2, the memory card that this person pulled out of this out of the back of the robot or whatever. Um, I think it's designed almost exactly like that. And it's like somebody just took the idea from that. They didn't think of something else that's like outside the box. And so yeah, what else? And I mean I'm looking at Elon Musk. I'm like, Elon Musk, he said that he was, I think he was doing an interview, and I'm going to paraphrase, and I'm not, maybe I'm wrong, maybe, but I'm just going to say what I think I heard him say. He was talking to this boy, and his boy, he was like, why don't you do this to this rocket and this and that to this rocket? He was like it would help with cooling, and he was like, oh, I didn't think about that. And then also Elon Musk, he I think he built a rocket, and he said he made it like in some kind of shape, not because it was functional to make the rocket like glide through the air better. He did it this certain way because he saw this out of a movie, and I'm like, how is that innovative? Like if I was out of this position, I'll be trying to make things the best, the absolute best. But anyway, he said it actually made the rocket or whatever or situation a little bit less more accurate or whatever, or less more stable. Anyway, we need more people that are able to build technologies that are not so more so that something they've seen inside of the past. We need some people that can create something that's just brand new and far more advanced. I was also, I know I'm rambling, but I was just googling uh quantum a quantum computer, and I'm like, so what's the difference between this quantum computer and like a regular computer? Well, it's faster. It can do. I mean, it can just. So basically, then first they said that it was just better. It can do such thing. And I'm like, so can it calculate the when you look at electricity, you see how the arcs and they form, they move. Can it calculate where electricity will hit exactly? Well, no, it can't do that. I'm like, okay. Uh, what can it do? Well, it can determine polar opposites of a situation. And I'm like, okay, it's basically just a faster computer. My point. And then I tried, and Google said, no, it's better than faster than a regular computer or whatever. It's this. I'm like, it's just a fast computer. My point. Back in the day, people thought that a calculator was better than sliced bread. It was better than anything. And now calculators like on this phone, and on a phone. They thought a GPS was like such a big deal, and like, yeah, I guess this is karma just saying, you know, this is shit now. But yeah, like GPS devices used to be just, they used to be huge. And phones used to be huge as well. And so I'm just simple like you can't even probably even fathom what can be produced with the right people and the right ingenuity. This quantum computer situation is nothing. It's software, and software doesn't do anything in regards to reality. Now it can dictate a few things, but it just shows you a schematic, and basically a schematic of what somebody else has already built and done or whatever. That's it, or thought of. It's not building things. It's not putting things in your hands. So instead of completely focusing on AI and stuff like that, we need to be focused on robots and physical mechanics and the resources to build those mechanics, so that, and then also having some kind of robot that can tear it down and build something that's more advanced and more and newer. Because I'm gonna try this again. Am I gonna pick up something else and like? But this is right now. This is obsolete. But yet, years ago, it was unfathomable. I'm looking at transit Pluto entering Aquarius, and like things that you can't, we probably won't be able to comprehend what's going to come inside, what's going to be created in the future, and either America does it or China's going to do it anyway, because China's about to have, in regards to his trade situation, it's about to have a Saturn return, just like I said, Diddy, he had his Saturn return in regards to the in regards to the Biggie Smalls and the Tupac situation, whether he did it or not. But this time, Diddy, he ended up going to jail. Go figure. Brandy and Monica, who made the song "The Boy's Mine," they went on tour after 27 years. Their Saturn return. Resident Evil, I don't know how this new game's gonna come out or whatever. It might turn to be like the best Resident Evil in its franchise because they're having their Saturn return. Let's see here what else. Bill Clinton. It's been 27 years since the Monica Lewinsky scandal, and it's having its Saturn return too. And here we are talking about Epstein. What else? Let me pause for a second. Okay, so I'm looking at the iPhone. It was created in 2007. Not the iPod came out before that, and a lot of other Apple products as well. But specifically the iPhone, it came out in 2007. 27 years from 2007 is going to be 2034. That's when we might see some technology that we couldn't fathom. Replace it, or here's something that replaces it. The first Android phone, it was made in 2009, I believe, the Motorola Droid, and I believe in 2036, that's when the Android might get re-innovated. Now, another thing, talking about the Civil War, and I believe World War II or whatever. I forgot the dates. It's too cold inside of here for me to even try to But my overall point, the first Civil War, during the first Civil War, I think transiting Pluto was inside. Let me pause a second. But I think transiting Pluto was inside of Taurus. But let me pause for a second. Okay, now I was thinking about a World War II, because both times when the Civil War ended or whatever, that was when transiting Uranus was inside of Gemini. But World War II was when transiting Uranus is also inside of Gemini as well. But anyway, when World War II ended, that was when a lot of innovations came out. Pretty much, I think Henry Ford, he created the Ford truck or whatever. But tractors were invented, and so instead of people trying to use slaves or whatever, pretty much there was one man who I think he said he owned slaves or whatever, and I don't know why. Anyway, but basically he said that he never imagined that a tractor could do so much, could take the burden of so much labor off of like multiple workers. That he was like, this is it. It was unfathomable. He thought that he needed to have like a field of people to plant crops and stuff like that. When a tractor could do it quicker, faster, and more efficiently than workers could. He had to feed all of them and all this other stuff, and he just had to fill up his gas tank. And yeah, it was. And I think he was like 100 and like 2 years old, and he was like, the technology now is unfathomable. So anyway, I think I'll stop this video right here. Pretty much, I was just rambling. I wanted to add some more funny stuff into this video, but I started off hard, and I guess I want to just end hard. Think about those adult toys I got for cash for tail. Anyway, bye for now.